we're learning much more about Robin Williams and what played out in his home those hours before he was discovered.
A decade after Robin Williams' death, another frenzy was caused by his wife after she spoke after years of silence. While others think she was too emotional and sorrowful, we'll walk you through what happened and what she said in this video. Don't just watch, make sure you anticipate her shocking statement. What really happened? With his unparalleled talent and generous spirit, the late great actor and comedian Robin Williams left an indelible mark on the world. His legacy will live on forever. His unexpected death on August 11, 2014, startled people all around the world and devastated his family, friends, and admirers. His loss came as a shock to everyone. Even though the pain of his departure has endured for 10 years, it has also sparked essential talks about mental health, the demands of celebrity, and the realities of neurodegenerative disorders. 10 years later, Susan Schneider Williams, his wife, provides an account of her journey, including the challenges they faced and the enduring legacy that Robin left behind. For the first time, Susan Schneider Williams has revealed her innermost thoughts. During the first few days, happiness and adoration. After meeting for the first time in 2009, Susan Schneider Williams and Robin had an instant and profound connection. Susan offered Robin, well known for his sharp wit and boundless energy, comfort, and stability. Susan was a source of stability for Robin. Susan became his anchor, confidant, and most steadfast supporter almost immediately after they tied the knot in 2011. In her very first speech addressed to the general public, Susan recounts their early days together as being filled with joy, lightheartedness, and an incredible sense of closeness. She asserts, "Robin was the love of my life. We shared a great sense of humor and deep affection, making for an amazing connection. I was not an exception to his amazing ability to make everyone around him feel special. Robin was the love of my life." When they first met, Robin's career was at its peak. He had just finished filming Night at the Museum: Battle of the Smithsonian, and he was getting ready to start new projects. Despite his hectic work schedule, Robin always made time for Susan, and the two treasured their time together. For him, their connection served as a safe haven where he could be himself and escape the pressures of Hollywood. Symptoms of Lewy body dementia, the beginning of the battles. In the years leading up to his death, Robin's health began to deteriorate. At first, the symptoms were mild, including sporadic memory loss, brief episodes of sadness and anxiety, and minor alterations in his motor skills. Robin was accustomed to a great deal of stress due to the fact that she was a well-known performer. However, this felt different. Susan describes Robin's early symptoms of illness with a balance of lucidity and melancholy. "We initially believed it was just his career's pressures catching up with him," she remembers. However, the symptoms were worse and more frequent after that. He began to feel quite confused, anxious, and paranoid. "Seeing the man I loved experience such suffering and uncertainty broke my heart." Robin struggled with his physical health in addition to his mental health issues. At first, his sluggish movements and stiffness were put down to the effects of aging. On the other hand, these signs were early warning signs of Lewy body dementia, LBD, a condition that impairs brain function. The symptoms frequently mimicked other illnesses, confusing and frustrating the diagnosing process. Following an autopsy, it was determined that Robin had Lewy body dementia, LBD, a neurological condition that affects mood, mobility, and cognitive function. These symptoms of the disease are frequently misdiagnosed because they can be confused with those of other illnesses, such as Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. The full extent of Robin's illness was not known until after his death. Susan says, "Finding out about the diagnosis was both a relief and a heartbreak. Heartbreak because it came too late, but relief that we finally had an explanation for the multitude of symptoms he was enduring. I wish we had known sooner so we could have taken a different approach and maybe given him more serenity during his last days." Clarity was brought about by the diagnosis of LBD, which also made it clear that there was a need for increased knowledge and comprehension of the condition. Susan began her own research on LBD, contacting doctors and support groups to learn more about the progression of the disease and the available treatments. This understanding proved to be essential to her recovery and her efforts to preserve Robin's legacy. The struggle against unstable mental health. Throughout his career, Robin Williams has been open and honest about his struggles with mental health. His struggles with depression and addiction have been widely reported, and he has utilized his position to dispel the stigma that is associated with these conditions and to raise public awareness of them. However, because of the development of LBD, his mental health issues became even more complicated. Susan characterizes Robin's mental condition as severely impacted by LBD. She claims Robin was a fighter. He had previously struggled with despair and addiction, but this was different. He experienced excruciating mental suffering as a result of the illness. He experienced moments of terror when he failed to recognize himself. It's a terrible illness that robs people of their fundamental identity. LBD aggravated mental health issues that were made worse by the absence of a reliable diagnosis and efficient treatment alternatives. Robin struggled not only with the illness itself, but also with the accompanying feelings of loneliness and annoyance. It was especially difficult for him since he had always been so alive and vigorous to feel as though he had lost control over his own body and thoughts. The final days, a painful farewell. Robin's health rapidly declined in the latter months of his life. Susan remembers how painful it was to watch her true love elude her, helpless to stop it. It was unbearable, she claims. It was difficult for me every day, and I felt quite powerless. Nothing seemed to improve despite all we did, including various drugs, therapy, and lifestyle adjustments. It felt like I was seeing him vanish right in front of me. August 11, 2014 was Robin Williams' date of suicide. His passing came as a shock to the entire globe and left those who loved him with an emptiness in their hearts. The loss was incalculable for Susan. She acknowledges, "The hardest thing I've ever gone through was losing Robin. But I knew that to pay tribute to his memory and carry on the work he was so passionate about, I had to keep going." Susan was able to get through her worst days thanks to the outpouring of condolences and recollections, which also served as a reminder of Robin's enormous influence on so many other people. As a result of his passing, Susan experienced a profound sense of loss. However, she was also comforted by the love and support she received from her friends, family, and admirers. The process of restoration. As a result of Robin's passing, Susan has devoted her time to educating people about Lewy body dementia and promoting mental health services. She has also advocated for increased awareness of LBD research and funding by delivering presentations at several conferences, participating in research efforts, and working closely with organizations such as the American Brain Foundation. Talking about Robin and his struggles has been incredibly healing, Susan says. It is a way to respect his memory and support those who might be facing similar issues. It would be beneficial if expressing our story raised even a small amount of awareness or comfort for those who are going through similar struggles. Due to Susan's lobbying efforts, there has been a significant advancement in both research and awareness of LBD. She has collaborated with medical professionals to develop more effective diagnostic methods and treatments, and her initiatives have helped raise awareness of an illness that is sometimes overlooked. Her efforts are a testament to her dedication to bettering the lives of others and her love for Robin. In addition to his incredible acting career, Robin Williams was a man who made millions of people happy and laugh. He also courageously and honestly addressed his own personal issues. His willingness to be transparent about his struggles with mental health issues contributed to the removal of barriers and inspired others to seek treatment. His impact extends far beyond his outstanding acting career. Susan stresses how important it is to honor Robin for his humanity as much as his achievements to the world. She describes Robin as an extraordinary person. He was a natural comedian, but he also had great empathy for other people. He was always willing to support, encourage, and add sunshine to the world. I want to pay tribute to his kindness, generosity, and amazing spirit. His support of charitable causes throughout his life is evidence of his impact. He has made a significant contribution to society through his advocacy for mental health, support of the homeless, an unwavering commitment to improving the lives of those around him. Robin has been cited as an inspiration by a number of comedians and actors. The impact of Lewy body dementia. A less well-known condition yet has a significant impact is Lewy body dementia. Millions of people are impacted globally, however the condition is still poorly recognized and underdiagnosed. Susan's advocacy work strives to improve diagnosis and treatment options by raising awareness of the illness. Susan asserts that postpartum depression, LPD, is a liar, and that it robs a person of their joy, identity, and talents. However, things do not have to be this way. With improved study and understanding, we may uncover techniques to effectively control the symptoms of LBD and improve the lives of individuals who are affected by it. Susan's efforts have already increased funding and awareness for LBD research. She has strongly supported early identification and intervention and collaborated with researchers to create new diagnostic standards. Her efforts are providing hope to individuals who LBD impacts by paving the road for improved knowledge and care of the condition. Susan's message is one of optimism and resiliency in spite of her sorrow and loss. She believes that we can make the world a more compassionate and understanding place by telling Robin's story and increasing awareness about mental health and LBD. She ends saying, "Robin's story is a reminder that even the brightest lights can face darkness. However, it also serves as a monument to the strength of community, love, and support. By listening to one another, supporting those who are unable to speak for themselves, and being there for one another, we can all make a difference. We can preserve Robin's legacy and make sure his spirit lives on in this way." Public conversation on the subject has been greatly influenced by Robin Williams' candor about his difficulties with mental health. His open conversations about melancholy and addiction were groundbreaking at a period when these topics were frequently stigmatized. He emphasized the value of mental health awareness and urged people to seek treatment using his platform. Susan remembers how frequently Robin would share his experiences with young people in an effort to encourage them to get treatment if they needed it. She explains, "He wanted people to know they weren't alone. He wanted to be a source of hope for those who felt lost or alone, and he understood the power of sharing one's struggles." Public speaking and advocacy commitments made by Susan. Through her participation in awareness campaigns, giving speeches at conferences for medical professionals, and working with brain health organizations, she has established herself as a key voice in the fight against Lewy body dementia. In a manner that is reminiscent of Robin's own desire to be of service to others, Susan has enthusiastically and deeply committed herself to the role of advocacy. After Robin's passing, Susan has assumed the position of an advocate with the same zeal and commitment that Robin had displayed throughout her life. Susan's emotionally moving presentations, in which she shares personal anecdotes and insights regarding Robin's battle with eating disorders, LBD, have elicited a significant response from the audiences who have attended them. Her objectives are to combat the widespread misunderstandings that exist around the condition, to disseminate information to the general public, and to encourage those who are struggling with eating disorders to seek assistance and therapy. Her public talks have had an especially great impact on the audience. Not only has Susan's campaigning helped to raise awareness, but it has also dramatically expedited the field of work in the field of LBD research. As part of her efforts to advance superior diagnostic procedures and therapeutic approaches, she has worked in conjunction with prominent scientists and medical specialists. The new study that analyzes various treatment options and elucidates the complexity of LBD is progressively becoming available, which indicates that these attempts are beginning to pay off. Susan is of the opinion that research is of utmost significance. She continues by saying, "The more information we have about LBD, the better prepared we will be to fight it." This program's primary goals are to give people a fighting chance and to improve the lives of those who have been touched by the situation, as well as the lives of their families. As far as Robin is concerned, that is exactly what she would have wanted. It is common knowledge that Robin Williams possesses an exceptional talent, in addition to his remarkable kindness and genuine compassion. Throughout his entire life, he has devoted himself to supporting a wide range of charitable causes, including those that offer assistance to those who are homeless, charities that support children, and programs that are related to health and education. Susan has continued the legacy of Robin's philanthropic giving by incorporating her own generous nature into her advocacy work. She has done this in order to carry on the legacy that Robin has left behind. She works in conjunction with charitable organizations and gives support for a wide range of programs that are designed to increase awareness and provide assistance to people who are affected with neurodegenerative diseases and mental health difficulties. And further source of comfort for Susan is the advocacy work that she does, in addition to the memories that she and Robin shared together. On a regular basis, she thinks back on the happy times they spent together, the laughter they shared, and the affection that contributed to the development of their connection. Not only do these recollections provide as a foundation of support, but they also serve as a daily reminder of what an amazing person Robin was. Robin's colleagues and co-workers not only share their recollections of him, but they also construct an image of a man who was not only incredibly talented, but also exceptionally generous and caring. This is the picture that emerges during the conversation. It is impossible for the stories that tell about Robin's acts of compassion, his ability to make everyone around him feel like they were one of a kind, and his contagious enthusiasm for life to fail to encourage and inspire those who knew him, as well as those who looked up to him from a distance. Despite the fact that there has been a substantial increase in the amount of knowledge regarding mental health issues, there is still a great deal of work to be done. Susan is unwavering in her determination to continue advocating for the reduction of stigma associated with mental health illnesses and the enhancement of healthcare services for those with mental health conditions. She makes statements such as, "We need to keep talking about mental health. Here is an example." Additionally, she points out, "We must make sure that people feel comfortable asking for assistance, that they have access to the tools they require, and that we continue to remove obstacles that stand in the way of people receiving the care they need." This undertaking is extremely important, and the story of Robin serves as a potent reminder of that relevance. In her campaigning, Susan emphasizes the necessity of support networks and communities, which she considers to be one of the most significant factors. She stresses the importance of the fact that no one should be compelled to cope with concerns that are associated with their mental health or neurodegenerative disease on their own. It is vital for persons who are impacted to build a support system that includes friends, family, and professional resources. Establishing such a structure is essential. Susan draws attention to the role that advocacy and support groups can play in establishing a sense of belonging and mutual understanding among members of the community. She makes the observation that connecting with people going through similar experiences can be incredibly healing. It serves as a reminder that you are not alone and that there are caring and understanding people around you. Looking forward, a vision for the future. When Susan thinks about the future, she envisions a society in which mental health is given priority. Individuals are empowered to seek help without fear of stigma, and Lewy body dementia is better understood and treated. Her vision is one of progress, acts of kindness, and hope. She observes, "We've come a long way, but there's so much more to do. I'm committed to continuing this effort, paying tribute to Robin's legacy, and making the lives of others better. If we collaborate, we can create a world in which every individual has the opportunity to live a life rich in happiness, health, and fulfillment." Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and comment below. After that, we'll see you in the next video.